always thought of you as a small, weak, and gutless man. But you know, there's no reason to be rude.
You owe me, Mike. You gave me your word. And that used to mean something.
Hello everybody, welcome back to Screenstars. I'm here today to bring you my review for the 2021 drama film Cry Macho, a film that is directed by the legendary Clint Eastwood, who also stars in the film, as well as Dwight Yoakam, and we have a young actor called Eduardo Miner playing Raffo. Now, this film focuses on Clint Eastwood's character, Mike Milo, who is an aging rodeo star. He is basically asked by Dwight Yoakam's character, because Clint Eastwood essentially owes him big time, because he saved his career back in the day. He asks him for a favour. His son is stuck in Mexico City with his ex, and he strongly believes that his son is being abused, etc., and he wants Clint Eastwood to go across the border, basically get his son and bring him home, because he can't do it himself because he's not allowed into Mexico. Clint Eastwood agrees. Clint Eastwood's character agrees because he knows he owes him. Heads off to Mexico to find his son, to bring him home. As you can imagine, things don't go exactly according to plan, and it's not as simple a task as was first made out. Right, what are my thoughts on Cry Macho? Well, can I just say, if you don't already know, I am a huge fan of Clint Eastwood. He's my favourite actor of all time. He's a living legend. He's a Hollywood icon. So on and so forth. Yeah, I mean, I could go on all day just talking about Clint Eastwood. I admire him. I love his movies. Grown up with them all. So any time that we get a chance to see Clint Eastwood on screen these days is something to treasure, because it ain't going to last forever. I mean, he's just turned 91, I believe. And the fact that he's still working is a minor miracle, and directing as well, but also acting. I didn't honestly think we were going to get a chance to see him in another film again. So I'm just delighted that we do get that opportunity. Now, the film itself is a fairly simple story, fairly simple tale. There's nothing that's going to get the blood boiling. It's actually quite a simple, gentle film in many ways. It's like a coming of age film for the young Mexican boy that Clint Eastwood is collecting. But it's also an awful lot about Clint Eastwood's character coming to the end of the road with him, and finding like a new direction where he can feel comfortable and all that kind of stuff. So it's an interesting dynamic in the sense you've got this young kid who's at the beginning of his life wanting like a fresh start with his father, and you've got this old grizzled character that is looking for somewhere to hang his hat, if you like, and call home, and so that he can like live out the rest of his days happily. And you get both of those things played throughout this film. Clint Eastwood, I think, does a really good job here with this young actor who's playing this Raffo, Eduardo Miner. I'm not sure if it's his first film, but he does a really good job here. He's got actually some really nice chemistry with Clint Eastwood. They share an awful lot of the screen together. A lot of it bickering, and then there's also this mutual respect that grows, and this trust, because this kid has had a difficult life, a difficult upbringing, struggles to trust anybody, which you could completely understand when you watch the film. And just to see this old grizzled cowboy not giving a monkey's really about much, starting to develop this relationship with this child and this mutual respect. It's a nice, gentle movie. It's not arduous to watch. It's actually very nice and lovely to watch. It just doesn't give you any grit really, or anything to really sink your teeth into. It's almost like the majority of the scenes that you watch with Clint Eastwood in, you're almost like just kind of enjoying it for what it is. The fact that this is another Clint film, and I'm enjoying it. I actually preferred this to his last one, and I'm trying to remember what his last one was called. It was the one where he was like the drugs, carrying the drugs across the border. And I'm just looking it up now, see if I can see it. The Mule, that's it. I actually prefer this to The Mule. I think it's a nicer story. Makes you feel pretty nice watching it. There's some lovely relationships. There's a couple of moments that'll make you giggle here in this film. It's quite light in its approach. There's even a little bit of a love story in it for Clint, which I thought was really, really nice. It didn't feel out of place. It actually felt quite touching and lovely. So it ticks a lot of boxes, and they do try and throw in a couple of exciting scenes because this Rafa, this kid from Mexico, his mother is not particularly happy to see him go. So she kind of sends a couple of people after Clint to try and get the kid back. So there is a handful of scenes where there's some confrontations in the film to give it a little bit of that going on in it. But for the most part, it's a nice, gentle tale, and it's just an absolute joy to see Clint Eastwood back on the screen. So I'm going to give this one a solid 7.5 out of 10. A really enjoyable, laid-back, relaxed film, and fans of Clint Eastwood will definitely get what they need from this film, and it was an absolute joy to see him back on screen again. So, lovely film. Give it a chance, guys, if you're looking to check out a new Clint Eastwood film. I really enjoyed my time watching it, so thanks for watching, everybody. I'll be back with plenty more content on the channel very, very soon.